Do you think you are going through a spiritual crisis? Do you feel utterly lost, disconnected from everything you once knew to be true? This, my friend, is what is known as the dark night of the soul. Wait, what is the dark night of the soul? Well, it is a profound existential and spiritual challenge that even the greatest mystics and sages have experienced. Today, let's find out what is the dark night of the soul, explore the different dark night of the soul stages, and learn how to deal with spiritual crises so that we can uncover the hidden gifts that can be found in even the darkest of nights. So if you find yourself in the throes of a dark night, take heart. You are not alone, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. What is the dark night of the soul? The dark night of the soul is a term that originates from the 16th century Spanish poet and Roman Catholic mystic, St. John of the Cross. In his spiritual writings, he described this phenomenon as a period of dryness, emptiness, and isolation that the soul must pass through in order to achieve the highest levels of spiritual union and enlightenment. So what is the dark night of the soul? Well, make no mistake, the dark night of the soul is no picnic. It is a challenging and often deeply painful journey through the unknown, where everything you once took for granted about yourself, your beliefs, and your connection to the divine can feel like it's slipping away. It's a time of profound disorientation, fear, and existential questioning. And yet, despite the darkness, the dark night of the soul is also a necessary and ultimately transformative process. For it is only by descending into the depths of our own psyche, by facing the shadow aspects of ourselves, that we can truly emerge reborn, with a deeper sense of purpose, a more grounded spirituality, and a greater capacity for love and compassion. Understanding the dark night of the soul. So what is the dark night of the soul? The dark night of the soul is a term used to describe a profound spiritual crisis or period of deep suffering and spiritual desolation that some individuals experience on their spiritual journey. The dark night of the soul is characterized by a profound sense of abandonment by God, the absence of spiritual consolation, and a deep anguish of the soul. It is seen as a necessary phase of purification and transformation, where the individual must let go of attachments, ego, and false notions about the spiritual life. During this period, the person may feel a profound sense of emptiness, depression, anxiety, and a loss of meaning or purpose. They may also experience emptiness, dryness, or a lack of interest in their spiritual practices, where they no longer feel the same sense of connection or inspiration. However, the dark night of the soul is also viewed as a necessary prelude to a deeper spiritual awakening and union with the divine. It is a period of profound inner work and surrender, where the individual is stripped of their illusory self and prepared for a more profound experience of the divine. Ultimately, it is believed to lead to a deeper, more authentic and intimate relationship with the divine. This is your answer to what is the dark night of the soul. Common signs of a spiritual crisis. So how do you know if you're in the throes of a dark night of the soul? Here are some of the most common signs and symptoms. 1. A deep sense of emptiness or disillusionment. You may find that the things that once brought you joy and fulfillment no longer hold the same appeal. You might feel a growing sense of disconnection from your everyday life and the people around you. 2. Intense feelings of anxiety, depression, or existential dread. The dark night of the soul can bring up a host of difficult emotions, from overwhelming fear and uncertainty to profound sadness, depression, and grief. You may find yourself questioning the meaning of life and your place in the world. 3. A loss of faith or spiritual connection. If you're a spiritual or religious person, you may find yourself struggling with a crisis of faith. The beliefs and practices that once grounded you may start to feel hollow or irrelevant. 4. A sense of profound loneliness or isolation. Even if you're surrounded by loved ones, you may feel utterly alone in your experience. The dark night of the soul can be an intensely solitary journey. 5. A deep desire for change or transformation. When you know what is the dark night of the soul, you realize that at its core is a yearning for something more, a longing to shed the old and embrace the new, to find a deeper sense of meaning and purpose. The dark night of the soul is not a linear process. It ebbs and flows, with periods of intense darkness interspersed with moments of clarity and hope. But generally speaking, there are a few key stages that most people tend to experience. 1. The awakening. This is the initial trigger that sets the dark night of the soul in motion. It might be a major life event, like the loss of a loved one or a significant relationship ending. Or it could be a more gradual dawning of awareness, a growing sense that something is off, that your life is no longer aligning with your deeper values and beliefs. 2. The letting go. As the dark night sets in, you'll find yourself being forced to let go of all the things you once clung to for security and stability. Your ego-driven attachments, your cherished beliefs, your sense of identity. This can be an incredibly painful process, as you watch everything you once knew start to crumble. This is one of the most crucial dark night of the soul stages. 3. The descent. This is the heart of the dark night, where you find yourself descending into the depths of your own psyche. It's a time of intense darkness, despair, and questioning, as you confront the shadow aspects of yourself that you've been avoiding or suppressing. 4. The surrender. At some point, you'll reach a point of total surrender, where you simply can't keep fighting the process any longer. This is a crucial turning point, where you let go of the need to control the outcome and open yourself up to the transformative power of the dark night of the soul. 5. The rebirth. Finally, if you persist through the darkness, you'll emerge on the other side with a renewed sense of purpose, a deeper connection to your authentic self, and a greater capacity for compassion and love. This is the gift of the dark night, a complete and total transformation of the soul. Learning about these dark night of the soul stages provides you a clearer understanding of what is the dark night of the soul. It's easy to see the dark night of the soul as nothing but a curse, a period of profound suffering and upheaval that we do anything to avoid. But the truth is, there are hidden gifts and blessings within this challenging process. For one, the dark night forces us to confront the shadow aspects of ourselves that we've been avoiding or suppressing. It's a chance to really look at the parts of ourselves that we don't like, to face our fears, insecurities, and deepest wounds head on. And in doing so, we open the door to a deeper level of self-acceptance and wholeness. Additionally, the dark night can be a powerful catalyst for spiritual growth and transformation. By stripping away the layers of our ego-driven attachments and beliefs, it allows us to reconnect with our authentic selves and our deeper purpose. We may emerge from the darkness with a renewed sense of clarity, purpose, and connection to the divine. And perhaps most importantly, the dark night of the soul can cultivate a profound sense of compassion, both for ourselves and for others. When we've walked through the depths of our own suffering, we can't help but develop a deeper well of empathy and understanding. We become more attuned to the pain and struggles of those around us, and more committed to helping them on their own journeys. So, while the dark night of the soul may be one of the most challenging experiences we can face, it also holds the potential for profound personal and spiritual growth. It's a necessary part of the journey towards wholeness and enlightenment. And with the right mindset and support, we can not only survive it, but thrive. This is why it is crucial to know what is the dark night of the soul. If you want me to go deeper on how to deal with spiritual crises, please let me know in the comments. And please tell us about your own experiences. It would be helpful to others to realize that we are not alone and that we are all humans experiencing a human life. Thanks for watching and liking this video. Your support means the world to us here at Spiritual Quest.